Alrighty, well, it's the 20th of May, and I am back on trail after sheltering from the storm with some awesome trail angels. Mikey and Marcy, thanks so much for your hospitality here in Sierra City. But getting back on trail and heading north. Hopefully the snow won't be too bad when I get to altitude. All right. Well, this is good news. A lot of the snow from yesterday has already melted. Hello, Sierra City. Okay, so we can see up here that the snow tends to be on the northern slopes, and this south-facing slope here pretty much has no snow. Let's hope I stay on the no snow side. Well, there you have it, mile 1200 on the PCT. Not even halfway there though, so gotta keep on going. So starting at mile 1201, the trail hits the snow line. But the snow is not that deep, and in fact it's slush. So I'm estimating that in about a week, this will all be melted. Of course, I looked at the weather forecast for Sierra City, and they said that within a week it'll be up in the 80s. So this should be all cleared within a week, maybe less. Here at mile 1205, we have Tamarack Lakes. While not listed as a water source on gut hooks, you can get plenty of water. Shortly after passing the Tamarack Lakes, at mile 1206, the trail descends in altitude, which helps warm things up, and now you can actually see enough of the trail in order to actually follow it much easier. Let's hope I didn't jinx myself. Hey, good morning. Well, just want to give you a recap of yesterday. Well, as you can tell from the sign behind me, you know where I'm at. So yeah, yesterday was a 12-mile day, and only a 12-mile day. I didn't start and hit the trailhead until about 11 o'clock in the morning. But coming out of Sierra City, there's a huge vertical. Yeah, you gain a lot of altitude, and also I have a lot of food. Huge resupply. Now, normally I know exactly how much food to bring, but since I wasn't 100% certain of the snow conditions coming up, I didn't know if I was doing a 20-mile day or I'd be doing 10-mile days or so on. So I probably have more food than I need, so my pack is really heavy. In fact, I had to strap stuff to the outside of my pack because I couldn't fit everything in my 60-liter backpack. But I ate dinner last night and this morning, and I can actually start to fit more stuff in there, so that's a good thing. As far as now, this campground behind me is technically closed, okay? So I repeat, did not camp at the campsites there. However, I did camp near there. So kind of makes me feel kind of like a homeless person in a way, that a homeless person and a PCT packer are very similar in that sometimes we sleep in legal places and sometimes it's questionably legal. Now I say questionably because I'm not sure how close to the campground I can camp, but I did not use a campsite, so that's for sure. So, but I found a nice flat dry spot here in the vicinity, so hey, there was no danger, so I took it. So, all right, but hey, I think I want to get about 18 miles in today if I can, if the terrain allows it. So, all right, now time to get on the trail. Between miles 1207 and 1209, there are at least 3 of these rivers that'll keep you well hydrated. Alright, today is pretty frustrating. It's about noon and I've only gone about 4 miles. Sure, there's snow and it's a little slushy because it's warmer temperatures, but I mean, that can be overcome by, map and compass. The problem is I think there's iron ore or something magnetic in these mountains because my compass is all wiggity whack, So doing a lot of cross-checking. But luckily I have an app that also has a compass on it, so I'm, triple cross-checking and everything. But yeah, it's kind of hard to maintain a course if you have no compass and you can't see the trail. So, all right. It's always heartwarming to see other hikers' tracks until you realize those are bear tracks, but luckily they're going perpendicular to my direction. It is so good to be able to see the trail sort of again. little windy on the ridge, but it is what it is. Hey, good evening. Well, I didn't make the 18 miles I was hoping to get today, but I did just shy of 13. A lot of snow. Compass was acting weird, so it's 5 o'clock right now. I could actually go a few more hours, but I got a big vertical coming up ahead, and I got a dry spot right here, so I think I want to camp here instead of possibly getting stuck above 7,000, because right now I'm about 6,500, and that's kind of the snow line. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it easy right here, rest. My feet are tired, and as you can tell, there's a spring right here, so I got water. All right, good night. Here at mile 1220, in what is supposed to be a relatively dry section of the trail, the snow melt is really giving it a lot of water. So water is not an issue for now. In 2 months, that may be different. Here at mile 1225, we got amazing flow on this seasonal stream. So I just stopped to have a little granola bar, and this chipmunk is eyeballing me. So I says to him, "What you looking at, S.A.? Don't you know I'm loco?" And then he took off. See, the power of the eye. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's actually snowing slightly here on the top of this crest at 7,000 feet. The forecast was for no precipitation for the next 10 days after leaving Sierra City. Hope that rainstorm stays south of me, though. And that's the end of the day, the 22nd of May, 20-mile day. I'm camping here at mile marker 1239.5, and the trail actually was pretty good today. About 70% dirt, which really helped. So, but tomorrow I got a big downhill, which is kind of bad on the knees, but you know, you got to do it. So I'm gonna get some food, and I'm so glad to be here at just below 6,000 feet with no snow.
Good morning, dear. Thanks for keeping me awake all last night.
You know, the good thing about hiking this early and skipping ahead is that places like this that are seasonal streams at mile 1243 are still flowing. Greetings from the Appalachian Trail. All right, okay, I'm really still on the PCT, but this is pretty much like the green tunnel of the Appalachian Trail, which can be good or bad since I'm trying to use my solar charger right now. All right. Here at mile 1249.3, we have a piped spring that is flowing very well. And that is some high quality H2O. Well, just stopped for lunch by the river there and met some pretty cool day hikers after my 3,000 foot descent. But now I got a 4,000 foot ascent. So, all right, I'm fueled up, rested, ready to go. Passing Bear Creek at mile 1253. Between miles 1245 and 1255, there is extensive tree fall that you really need a chainsaw, and some trimmers would actually work too. I've been doing what I can to take care of the small and medium-sized stuff, but this stuff definitely needs heavy-duty equipment. But hey, it's our trail, so if all hikers can do their part and kind of help with some of this small stuff, we'll leave the big stuff to the trail maintenance folks. So thanks in advance to everyone, and we'll see you on trail. Here at 1257.9, we have a seasonal stream that is very light and may not last too much longer into the season. Fresh poop. Still moist. Hope it's not bare, but I think it is. Good evening. Well, camping here tonight at mile 1259. It's about a 19-20 mile day, roughly. Only went up to, I think I'm camping here at 5,700 feet. I could have gone higher, but A, my legs are tired, and B, there could be snow higher, and I'm good here. So I'll challenge that in the morning and try to get another 20 miles in. All right, good night. Now this is a morning view I could get used to every day. Gotta love spring water, fresh, crisp, and clean. Well, it looks like we might be headed back into snow. Woohoo! All right, only 27.5 miles to Belden. I hear they got a lodge there that has an awesome burger. Looks like I'll probably get there tomorrow. Here at mile 1268, we have the Buck Summit Trailhead, and there are a bunch of people, a bunch of cars. I don't see the people, but I guess people are out doing something for Memorial Day weekend. For me, I'm just taking a break because I got a big uphill coming up. So I'm just sitting here at the edge of the road, kind of getting some lunch, and some dude actually drove by, turned around, and thought I needed a ride. So I mean, that was cool of him. Really friendly people in this area, and but what I need to do is I need to head up that trail right there. So, all right, let me get my stuff on and head on up. Well, this sign's a little confusing. In the National Forest Wilderness, no bikes and no mountains are allowed. Yikes! Someone better tell the mountain. If you see those hikers behind me, they're pretty cool people. I'm just here for an overnighter, but they volunteered to take my trash out for me. So that actually dropped about 1.5 pounds off my pack. And for this ascent and the following descent, it's really going to be needed. Here at mile 1269.5, we have Bucks Creek, and it's flowing really well, but the next water is 6.7 miles, so I might fill up here. Just above 6,500 feet, and we are back to some snow covering. Here at mile 1278, it looks like we have a marshy quagmire, which is pretty much synonymous with mosquitoes, which explains why this section has a history of mosquito problems. But hey, that's a benefit of being early in the season, is mosquitoes aren't bad. Now, those coming in about a month or two, well, hope you have your blood transfusions ready. All right, so got here to camp at mile 1280 tonight. 21-mile day, not bad. I didn't actually leave my last tent site until like 9 a.m. So, and honestly, I probably could have gone farther, or I could have arrived here earlier, but it's a holiday weekend, Memorial Day, and there's a lot of hikers and overnight backpackers. So, of course, when we see each other, we got to stop and chat. I mean, let's face it, hikers and backpackers are pretty cool people. Just ask us. So, but tomorrow I'm going to head down into Belden and hopefully grab a bite. I hope there's a to-go section, or at least something. Otherwise, I am going to cook my own camp barbecue. Okay, I know Memorial Day isn't really, some people think it's National Barbecue Weekend, but it's actually a much more solemn occasion. So, all right, let me get my camp set up and get some rest. Good morning, Northern California. All right, 1 mile to water and then another 5.7 to Belden Town Resort, where hopefully there'll be a burger with my name on it. About 200 feet off the trail at mile 1281.7, we have Canyon View Spring. It's flowing well, and the next water source is 5 miles away. Finally, almost done with the long downhill. Got some train tracks here, and I've seen Stand By Me, so I'm not hanging out on the tracks for long. Right past the railroad tracks and before you get to Belden Town Resort, there's actually a outhouse. So go in, sit down, enjoy, and get your poop on. Well, everyone, welcome to the Belden Town Resort. Unfortunately, they are closed due to Corona, so I am going to sit right here and make my own Memorial Day barbecue, probably with some Mountain House. There is electricity and a trash can. So, all right, time to get some food. Hey everyone, so while my electronics were charging, I found out a little more information about the Belden Town Resort from the worker here, Jamie. Really cool. So basically what they offer is, you have the electronics and the trash, but there's a bathroom. You can still take showers. They can actually offer you lodging. There is a water faucet here with fresh water, and if you need anything from inside the store, just tell them what you want. I got an ice cream. But ice cream, other supplies, or anything like that you may need. They don't cook food like sandwiches and burgers and everything, but everything else, just tell them what you want and they'll get it for you. So the Belden Town Resort still does provide services for the hikers. All right, hike on. Well, Well, I'm going on the uphill out of Belden, and right here on the trail, a cinnamon bear. So it's like a black bear that's colored brown. As soon as he saw me, he took off, headed up the hill. So yeah, hopefully they just keep staying scared of people. All right, entering Lassen National Forest. Not to be confused with Lassen National Park, which is north of Chester and was going to be closed, but they've just scheduled to open on the 29th of May, which is perfect timing for my entry. Here at mile 1292 at Rattlesnake Spring, there's actually some decent flow and a good collecting point off that cliff down there. So here I am at mile 2195 and change, making it just over a 15-mile day. I could have gone further, but a lot of uphill and downhill today, plus I wasted like 4 hours down at the Belden Town resort. Of course, I had a lot of stuff I had to do and take care of, and it's not often that I get Wi-Fi, so I had to do that. I did run into some day hikers, actually section hikers. They were doing Belden to Chester and back, so it's 84 miles. They said there's a lot of snow coming up. Now, my experience with day hikers and section hikers and overnight backpackers is they tend to say that a lot of snow is really not too much snow, especially after all the snow that I saw around Echo Lake to here. So, but I'm going to be prepared and head up there. I'm going to get up early and try to get as close to Chester tomorrow as I can. All right. Okay, so today's Memorial Day, and I know I don't usually talk about the holidays or so on, but Memorial Day is typically the kickoff to the summer, and a lot of parks are going to be opening up, and I've seen a lot of day hikers and other people who are just getting out and enjoying nature, and I think that's a good thing. But when you're on trail, you have a lot of time to think, especially when you're hiking solo. And I just want to remind everyone that Memorial Day isn't National Barbecue Day. It's a time to remember those fallen service members who gave their life in service of the country. And it may not mean much to many people, but for a lot of us it does. And as you may or may not know, I am a veteran. I did serve some time in the military, and it's a time to remember my brothers in arms. Frank Roper, Dwayne Gray, they didn't come home, and the countless others who've given their lives so that we have the freedoms that we have. The freedoms to be on trails like the Pacific Crest Trail is just one example of one of the freedoms that we should never take for granted. And so here on Memorial Day, I want to say thank you to all those who paid the ultimate price. We honor you, we respect you, and we hope we can keep living the lives that are worthy of your memory.
Hey, good morning. Well, here I am at Chips Creek at, probably about 100 meters from my campsite, and my feet may get wet getting across this, so, all right, time to wade. So a couple hundred meters upstream, they're trying to build a bridge to keep people dry and make it easier and less sketchy during the heavier rain seasons.
Luckily, this branch of the creek isn't raging as quickly, but there's still no way to get across other than, whoa, walking. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. Beautiful, I tell you, beautiful. All right. Here at mile 1298 is some great flow, and that pool is suitable for bathing in if you really need to. And let me tell you, us hikers, we stink. Well, all right, I'm already in the Cascades. Thought that was in Washington State, though. Oh well, hike on. Here at mile 1299.6, we have Andesite Spring, and it's flowing great. Yes, that is snow there, so we're getting close to the snow. But apparently this spring used to be called Poison Spring, but for some reason they changed the name, maybe to get people to actually drink from it. Here we are, mile 1300 on the PCT, and still not even halfway there. Well, the snow in that section wasn't too bad. It was really from about mile 1300 to 1301.5, and even that it was very navigable. So now I'm in a lower altitude and I should see a lot less snow, but I know that as I get closer to Butt Mountain, there's going to be more. I finally got a bear on video. Check it out. Well, that was cool. I just ran into two of my trail family that I was hiking with when I was south of Kennedy Meadows. They were doing a little flip-floppy also, and they're headed south. So, all right. About 0.3 miles off of mile 1318, here's Carter Creek. It's not flowing very fast, but there is water, filter it, and the next mile marker for water is, well, it's 10 miles away going northbound, so drink up. Hey, good evening. Okay, so I decided actually to camp down here near the water source. Just because, you know, cooking dinner and then breakfast, then I'm gonna have like 1 liter, 10 miles. Normally that's okay, depends on the temperature and so on. But a couple days ago, actually yesterday, I was going through 1 liter in like 2 or 3 miles because it was so blistering hot. So even though there's some mosquitoes here, I'm gonna camp down here and fill up with water in the morning, and then do the 13 and change down to Chester. Today, 23 miles, not too bad. So, but let me get some food and get some rest. Good night. Hey, good morning. Well, it's 6 a.m. and I am on trail. I want to get down to Chester in a reasonable time. Let me tell you, this campsite was one of the freakiest campsites I've been at so far. It's about 0.3 miles from the main trail, so I gotta head back up there now. I got plenty of water, but what made the campsite really freaky was it's next to pretty slow moving water. I was expecting mosquitoes. There were no mosquitoes. There were no insects. There were no birds at night. There was no wind. It was like a dead calm. It was just freaky. It was like nature didn't exist. Now when the sun came up, the birds started singing. So that was good, but it was just a weird calm. So, but I'm sure I'm gonna see more animal life and insect life and so on here shortly. So, all right, onward to Chester. Another reason for waking up early is due to the reported snow conditions. I wanted to get up and over the snow at the summit before the sun has had a chance to turn it into slush. I gotta say, this is the most snow I've seen on this peak so far. Let's see how it looks on the other side though. And it doesn't look too bad on the other side. No, it's not a snake, it's an Apple charging cord. Leave no trace, people. I'll be picking it up. Here we are at mile 1325, the halfway point between Mexico and Canada. Doesn't seem like it, but still got a ways to go. Well, I just stopped here in Northern California, just outside of Chester, to, well, go number 2, because you gotta do it. And while doing so, I discovered a tick. Luckily, it was nowhere really sensitive, but it was on my waistline. So yeah, just busted out here on the Gerber dime, if you can see that. I always carry a Gerber dime because it has little tweezers, so that helps get the ticks out. So plus it has a bunch of other really cool stuff in here, including a beer bottle opener. Yay! So hopefully I'll be using that soon. All right, Watch for ticks. Here at mile 1328, we have Soldier Creek, and it's actually flowing pretty well. Why is it that the longest miles are always the ones leading right into a town for a resupply? Hey everyone, well, I've reached Chester, mile 1331, and as you can guess, this isn't the trailhead where it crosses Highway 36, but rather this really awesome trail angel named Jeff reached out to me. I guess he follows me on YouTube, and offered up his cabin, which is a couple miles outside of Chester, as a place to take a zero. So really awesome. Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Great place you have here. He let me have the place to myself. There's a kitchen, bathroom. It's a great place to relax. So thank you. Trail Angels are awesome. Not just Jeff, but all Trail Angels. You guys are really special and definitely appreciate it. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to get back on trail after actually 2 nights here. And yeah, gonna head north. I contemplated going, flipping back south and doing the high Sierras, but the logistics of getting down there right now just weren't really feasible. Plus also, if I continue going north, while there may be some snow around Mount Etna and Sead Valley, further north in California. An advantage of going further north now is I stay ahead of the mosquito wave. I'm starting to see a few mosquitoes right now, not too bad, but I hear that it's really notorious for mosquitoes in Northern California. So yeah, so I'm just going to continue going north, and I know there is some snow still in Oregon, but as I get further north, hopefully it'll melt, at least enough to make it much more comfortable and passable. So for now, I'm just gonna take these last about 12 hours or so, 16 hours to continue to rest and get on trail in the morning. So all right, hike on.